Okay, hello everyone. So this moment we're going to tackle about a compound complex sentence. So I suppose that you know already what is compound sentence and a complex sentence, so that I will know further explanation about it. So okay, let's begin. So first, what is a compound complex sentence? A compound complex sentence has more than one independent clause and at least one subordinate clause. So, as the name implies, it is composed or consists of a compound and a complex sentence. So, it is made up of more than one independent clause, can be two or three, and at least one subordinate clause. So, independent clause or main clause has a subject and a predicate and can stand alone as a sentence, while a subordinate clause has a subject and a predicate but it cannot stand alone as a sentence. Usually, it has a subordinating conjunction. So, okay. Well, the subordinate clause has many functions in this in compound complex sentence. It can be a noun clause, or an adjective clause, or an adverb clause. So, it depends on the sentence that you made. So noun clause, we're going to tackle about noun clause. So noun clause, this is the structure of a noun compound complex sentence, which the subordinate clause is noun clause. So here we're going to put this line like this structure. We're going to pause this video for or just copy the structure. So here we're going to put the subject, here the verb, and this here supposed to be where the object of the verb should be placed, and we're going to put like this, and here the subject, the verb, and here we're going to make a broken line which we're going to put the coordinating conjunction, and here the subject, and vertical line, and then a verb, the verb. Okay, let's proceed to an example. Okay, here we have Marie explained how cookies are made, and we practiced her techniques at home. So now we're going to know what are the functions of every word in the sentence. So Marie is a noun, and we're going to put here S, which is subject. Here verb, explain is a verb. In this sentence here, or in this clause here, this clause here functions as the noun clause in this sentence. So here the word how functions as adverb, cookies as noun, and are made is the verb phrase. Then and here is the coordinating conjunction, and we as a noun, and practiced is a verb, her is an adjective, techniques is the object of the verb, and at home is the prepositional phrase, and at is the preposition, and home it has the object of the preposition. So now earlier I've shown you this structure. So we're going to have a what do you think? We're going to have an exercise about this. So here I've made some of the first example. So Mary here as the subject and explain as the verb. Then we're going to put here another subject, which is what? So we're going to put here the noun clause. This area here is provided for the noun clause. So here we're going to put the word cookies. Then because cookies here is a noun and functions as the subject of the noun clause. So here we're going to put are made, because are made is a verb phrase. And where we would put how? So adverb are words that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So we will put how here. Then the broken line here, we put the what? Coordinating conjunctions, which is and. And then again, we're going to put here the subject. What do you think is the word? So we here is a noun and considered as another clause. This sentence here is another clause, so we considered we as the subject. So put we here. Then practiced. Practice functions as a verb, so we should put here practice. Practiced. And her here as an adjective, and techniques as the object of the verb, so we'll put here the techniques. So we put here a vertical line because practice here is a transitive verb. Then at home, where should we put at home? So here we practiced. So at home, where did they practiced? So at home. So we should put here at, the preposition, and the object of the preposition home. So there you goes. Marie explained how cookies are made, and we practiced her techniques. Oh, I forgot. Should put here the what? The modifier, which is the adjective her. So her techniques at home. So that's it. So subject, the verb, the subject and the verb, and the adverb how, then coordinating conjunction and, then the subject we practiced as the verb, then techniques here as the object of the verb, then her adjective, and at home as prepositional phrase, at as the preposition, and home as the object of the preposition. Okay? Okay, now we're going to tackle about the compound complex, the subordinate clause as an adjective clause. So here's the structure. So you can pause the video or take a snapshot for future purposes. So here you would put the subject, then the verb, and here the direct object of the verb, and then we put here broken lines and the subject here, the verb, and the direct object. So here we put the coordinating conjunction and subject and the verb. So we'll have another example. So here I would have purchased the cheese. Okay, I would have purchased the cheese that you like, but it was too expensive. So we're going to we're going to know what is the function of each word here in the sentence. So I here functions as the subject, or a noun. It's a noun. It's a noun. Subject. So would have purchased here is the verb phrase. Then the cheese here, them is the adjective, she's article, an article, then cheese as the object of the verb, here that you like here is what? The adjective clause. So that is an object, we'll know why it is an object later. So you is the subject in this sentence, and this clause, then it is a noun. Like here is the verb. But is the coordinating conjunction. Here he is the coordinating conjunction. It was too expensive. So here it is a subject for this clause. Was is the verb or a linking verb. So to here is an adverb, and expensive is the object of the verb. So there you go. I here is the subject, and would have is the verb phrase. The is the adjective, which is an article. Object cheese, and that you like is the noun, the adjective clause. That is an object. You is the subject and a noun. Like is verb, but coordinating conjunction. It as subject, was as a linking verb, to adverb, expensive, and as an object of the verb. As I have shown you earlier, this is the structure of the adjective clause, the compound complex, the subordinate clause as adjective clause. Then we're going to have a little exercise about this. So remember the structure. Here we have our example. So here we will put the subject, which is the I, the word I. Then here we will going to put the verb or the verb phrase. Would have purchased. So would have purchased here is a transitive verb. So we're going to put a horizontal line. Then here we put the object, which is the cheese. Then underneath it we put the modifier, which is the adjective the. Then because cheese, the clause here, the adjective clause modifies cheese, so we're going to put here a broken lines, and then here you will put the subject in that clause, which is you. Then the verb like. So what do you think we should put here? Like is a transitive verb, so we're going to put a horizontal line. Then that as the object of the verb. So, and here, okay, let's proceed. So here we're going to put the coordinating conjunction, which is but. So but, then here we will put the subject, another subject in this sentence, the word it. So put it here. Then was as the verb. So was here is a linking verb, so we'll put a slant line, and then put expensive here as the object. and underneath it is the adverb to. So that's it. I as the subject would have purchased as the verb praise, then cheese as the object of the verb, and underneath it is the modifier, which is the adjective the. Then here and the subject you with the verb like and the object that. And here it is the subject, it a subject, and was as a linking verb, then expensive as the object, and to as the adverb. Well, that's it. So we're going to proceed to the next function of the subordinate clause, which is the adverb clause. Okay, here is the structure of the adverb clause. So here we put the subject, then the verb, then here we're going to a slant broken lines, and then we put here the subordinating conjunction, then here the subject, and then the verb. Here we put the coordinating conjunction. We put here the broken lines, as you can see, then subject and the verb. So you can pause the video for a snapshot or copy the structure. Okay, we'll have an example. Here, because we had lots of cookies, we had a party and our guest ate the yummy treats. So, because we had lots of cookies, here is the adverb clause. And we had a party and our guests ate the yummy treats. We had a party here is one of the independent clause, and our guests ate the yummy treats is also another independent clause. And here is the coordinating conjunction. So because here is the subordinating conjunction, we as the subject or noun, had is a verb, then lots as the object, then of cookies here is a prepositional phrase, then of is the preposition, cookies as the object of the preposition, then we as the subject, noun, had as a verb, or is an article, which is an adjective, functions as an adjective in the sentence, party as the object of the verb, then and here is the coordinating conjunction, then our guest, is an adjective which modifies the guest here as subject and is a noun, ate here as the verb, the is the adjective which modifies the treats, and yummy as an adjective, another adjective, and treats as the object of the verb. So we know now the functions of each word in this sentence. So we're going to have a little exercise about this. So remember the structure that I've given you earlier? Here it goes. So subject, verb, coordinating conjunction, subject, verb, subject, subordinating conjunctions, and verb. So now we're going to have a little exercise about adverb clause, compound complex, and the subordinate clause as adverb clause. So we're going to put here the subject. Here we're going to put here this clause here, we had a party because we will always put an independent clause here because it is one of the rules. So since this is the first clause, we're going to put the subject here, we, because this clause here would be our first independent clause. So we will put here the subject, which is we, then had as the verb, and because it had is a transitive verb, we're going to put a vertical line here, vertical line, then put the object of the verb, which is the party, the word party. Then underneath party will be the adjective or the article A. Then here we're going to put the subordinating conjunction, which is because. Then here we're going to put the subject, this here, subject, then the verb. So because we're going to put here the adverb clause. So because here is the subordinating conjunction, then we as the subject, then had as the verb, then lots is, we're going to put a vertical line because had is a transitive verb, then lots, put lots there, then the object of the preposition cookies and the preposition of. There. And you will put here the second independent clause. Here you will going to put the word and, the coordinating conjunction and our guest. Guest here is the subject, so we're going to put it here. We're going to put subject here. Guest. Or as an adjective will be put underneath the guest as a modifier. Then ate as verb. Ate here is a transitive verb. Put vertical line. Then you're going to put here the object of the verb, which is treats. Then put the adjective there and the adjective yummy under the word treats. The yummy treats. So that's it. The subject we, the verb had, the transitive verb had, the object of the verb party and its adjective, then because, the subordinating conjunction, we, the subject, the verb had, and the object of the verb lots, and of cookies here is the prepositional phrase, then the coordinating conjunction and the subject, and the second independent clause, guest, then its article, the adjective are, then ate is the verb here, then treats as the object of the verb, and the modifier the and yummy. So that's all. So we had tackled about compound complex sentence. So thank you for listening and watching.